Do 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 do.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first ever reaction / review show of the new season.
By us
Three. My name is Sean Stewart. I am the new face to the channel. I'm joined over here at the end of the table by Miss Rachel. Hi Rachel, how's it going?
Pretty good.
You know, a lot of fans want to know, what was the first episode of X-Files you ever saw?
The first episode I ever saw was Paperclip, which is funny because it's the third part of a 3-parter, and I was super young, like in elementary school young, and I can't possibly have known what was going on, but I never stopped watching it after that. I never missed an episode.
All right. Yeah. All right. And next to her is Miss Elice. Hi, Elice.
Hey.
How's it going? Yeah, awesome. Fans on the interwebs want to know.
What's the interweb?
It's like
the net, if you're
like
Scully.
The net.
Yeah.
Or the World Wide Webs.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I know that. Yeah.
They want to know, what's your favorite X-Files shirt? You wear a lot of X-Files shirts on the videos.
Shirt?
Yeah.
You guys know my shirt collection? Okay.
No, clearly not. It's extensive.
My new favorite is a white one I got from Fox's website.
Yeah. I like that
one too. Small plug. It's these faces, I think. But it's white and
it's black and white. There's no color, right?
Yeah. But the shirt itself is white. Yeah. It's pretty cute. I don't know.
It is. It's really cute. I like it a lot.
Yeah, is it comfy? Is it?
I want it.
Yeah,
it's like
not like the
shirt?
fitted like girls like cropped off sleeve. It's like a man shirt, but in women's size.
Yeah.
I like it. P.S. Like I've been wearing shirts every day.
Yeah.
Every day this week to promote the show because I think anyone in the mall or wherever I am might look at the shirt, and they have been looking and watch the show. I really want to help in whatever way I can.
Well, I mean, Fox has been doing a good job of doing a lot of advertising. I mean, we live in Los Angeles, and there is stuff everywhere about the new season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, like to see the influx of promotional materials.
You went to the Grove.
I did go to the Grove, where they had the spaceship crashed in the middle of it, and they had like little yellow hazmat minion men, and the X-Files cupcakes, and the tape, like the crime scene tape that said X-Files on it, and that spaceship all day was surrounded by people taking pictures, and to get a cupcake you had to hashtag the X-Files and like post your photo. Super smart. I read about the integration strategy of Fox in getting people to use social media to promote the show, and I honestly it's so exciting that they're seizing that opportunity, because back in the day when it was first on, internet was still kind of new.
There wasn't social media.
Now it's like everywhere, and they really took advantage of that, and it's an exciting time to be a fan.
Yes,
totally. And I mean, that's exactly what we want to talk about. And the new season's back. I mean, is this like surreal for you girls?
Oh my God, pinch me. Like I still feel like it was a year ago, and when they said it was coming back, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but I'm gonna believe it when I see it. Like it still doesn't feel fully real. Like I think it's gonna be a couple episodes before I really understand that like I have my show back. Like
you're gonna have to watch the first episode like 10-12 times
probably,
before it actually sinks in.
Yeah, as per usual.
Well, yeah. I kept telling my husband for months and months, like we've been together for years now, but I was like, you haven't seen the side of me, like the me that exists when the X-Files is on the air. Like
it's a whole
my passion runs so deep, and it has not changed like since I was a kid.
Right.
And for you too. I think that is a testament to the show, and we have personal interaction with it on like a different level, but regardless, I think there's just something when you're a fan of this show, like it captivates you for life. Like I remember my parents being like, oh, you'll grow out of it, don't buy all this stuff on eBay, like you're gonna get rid of it.
It's
and
like
I still have it,
Yeah.
and I will never get rid of it. Like,
oh no,
I just buy more stuff.
That stuff, it's boxed up and in like storage out in California now. I mean, when my family moved out of our house in Connecticut, like that stuff is saved forever.
It's precious.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think new fans' reaction were to the new season? Do you think they had the same level of excitement, or?
I think you should tell us, because you are a new fan.
I know, put me like through the ringer, but I mean, I just started watching the X-Files probably about 3 months ago. I mean, I didn't like really grow up with cable, and I really didn't watch a lot of cable when I was a young kid. I was like a Tinker Toys kid. But now with like new forms of watching, like through Hulu and Netflix, I've been able to kind of binge watch and catch up quite a bit for this new season. I mean, I will say that just seeing all the advertising and your guys' excitement and all the interaction like on social media has gotten me really excited about the episode, and I'm really excited having watched it and to share my point of view. So, I mean, this new episode, My Struggle. Do you think it was a good title? Do you feel like...
I mean, yeah, I watched the X-Files Reopen thing, so I have a little insight into the title thanks to Chris Carter. So I know that the first episode and the last episode of the season are both called My Struggle, and that the first one is supposed to be about Mulder's struggle, and the last one will be more about Scully's struggle. And it was true, even though I feel like I saw both of their struggle for sure in this episode, we learned that Mulder, has been diagnosed with depression apparently by Scully, that they've broken up, that he's basically been alone in this house. We don't know if he's been working or doing anything. I mean, when we first see him, he's just kind of sitting at the computer.
Mulder's on unemployment.
Yeah, basically. He seems like a hermit, and not unsimilar to what he was in the second movie, but now he's truly alone in this. And I mean, I can only imagine what a struggle that's been. And it was interesting. It was definitely a newer side of the character, I would say.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the purpose he once did.
And yet I still think the promos led us to believe that Mulder and Scully had been completely like at odd ends, like not
Hadn't
talking.
been in touch, yeah.
Which I was worried about. I couldn't understand how those two people with such a bond who had been through so much would be separated to the point like that. How could anything pull them apart to the point where they don't talk?
Right.
But to know after watching this episode that they still talk, they still have a very like easy rapport and the communication is still there. They're just not physically together. And I think they pulled that off perfectly. Like I was really worried about them splitting up, not understanding how they could, but I totally get it now. I can understand, why they would be apart and yet still have that, like they want to be together so bad, but that forces.
It's not like they've broken up and moved on.
No,
they've just separated for their own
That's perfect.
good, and it seems like Scully kind of was the driving force behind that.
Yeah, Mulder makes some comments in the episode like, well, it was certainly good for you to get out of the house. Yeah, I think they handled that perfectly.
That comment felt like a bullet.
I know.
That was painful.
But I love
and she just smiles.
Yeah.
Well, she's not. I'm sure that he's never been the nicest in his comments and his sarcasm. So I'm sure, she just kind of takes it in stride like she used to. And
yet I think it got them back for TV purposes to a place where we want them to be. That initial like, will they, won't they, the chemistry, them not being together and like seeing them want to be together but not doing it, like that.
Tension
what was
banter.
it, UST, you remember? In the AOL days it was called unresolved sexual tension. There were all these acronyms. There was UST, there was MSR, Mulder Scully Romance. The X-Files coined the term shipper, which is now used in many fandoms. And what am I saying? They got them back where they need to be.
That they're in an interesting place now, even though I'm sure that no X-Files fan would have said, a year ago, like, oh, we want Mulder and Scully to be broken up. It does put the interesting dynamic back into their relationship that makes the show more interesting.
Well, do you think this episode kind of lived up to that expectation of the fans?
It's so hard to say. The fans that I talked to who saw the episode in like early screenings at fan events seemed to think that yes, it definitely did. Me personally, like right after I saw it, I think my first reaction was like, I almost feel like I hadn't really watched an X-Files episode. I knew Mulder and Scully were there and there were elements of it, but it felt so new and different, and not all, not in a bad way necessarily, but it was jarring. But I mean, I enjoyed it. And I think it's interesting because you have had the chance to watch it twice. You watched it right after.
Right. On a different TV, which sounds weird, but I'm going to talk about that.
Go for it. Talk about it.
I do want to tell people, like, if you watched it, this sounds like so weird. If you watch it on an LED TV or what did you?
Oh, you're so techie. Listen to you.
Yeah, I know. A 60
like with the times
hertz or something.
Yeah,
refresh rate
I agree with you. I think this is a lot of different things. Like you're watching old movies on a new TV.
It looks different.
Yeah, if there's that refresh rate, and I agree with you. And we were talking a little bit before we did this about film versus digital,
right?
And a lot of the original episodes were shot on film. And
true.
And if you're watching those on even like nowadays through Hulu, you'll still get that faster refresh rate. And it won't feel like the way it does. You can set your TV back to 60 hertz and
which
feels a little better.
Yeah, my plasma at my house is whatever that is. And when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh no, like the tone, the color, the pacing, because even the camera seems like jerkier when you watch it on the whatever you're talking about. But no, honestly, like people, like if you feel like it looked different, like just watch it on a whatever he's talking about. helpful, right?
On 60 Hertz.
On 60 Hertz.
And to that point, I mean, there were some decisions made to make the new episodes kind of a little more updated.
True.
Yeah.
With the times.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I think that was weird for me that I'm definitely going to have to get used to, and it's necessary to update it like this, but for me, the X-Files used to be so full of beats, of reactions,
those big
slower
breaths.
dialogue, and like, Mulder saying something and Scully just giving him a look, and it wasn't like that. Like, it's very quick and snappy, and
But TV's not like that anymore.
Right,
I feel
exactly.
like.
That's what I mean. It had to be updated, but I guess it's not something I really thought about before I watched the episode, and so that was a little jarring to me. And I thought that the dialogue was still very witty and smart and insightful, but it was just one line came after the next, after the next, after the next. It was so different from what I'm used to with the X-Files.
Well, and to that point, I mean, was there anything that like really stood out? Like, was there any sore thumbs in the episode?
There's, I think she's laughing
what
because she
Rachel's
knows what I'm
gonna
going to say. There was one line that just, I laughed. I couldn't help it. It was just, and maybe it was, I'm not entirely convinced that it wasn't meant to be taken that way.
Okay.
Because I think that this character is so over the top in a way, and I'm not talking about Joel McHale. I'm talking about Sveta.
Sveta.
Yeah, who at some moments was, very emotional and very interesting and talking about, aliens did this, no wait, humans did this. She couldn't quite decide what she was talking about. But just the line at the beginning when we first meet her, when she goes...
All right, Rachel, do this.
Okay.
We're gonna we have to rate her on her performance. 1 to 10. Hold up the paddles here.
Where's my pen?
Yeah, I know. Okay. The accent's not gonna be
all right, here we go.
Okay.
What's the line?
I have alien DNA. For sure.
I think that was pretty good.
It was, yeah.
I give her an 8. An 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I give that line like a -3.
For your own reading or the line itself?
No, the line itself. It was just, and maybe it was meant to be taken this way because Scully has to find her a little, we had to have a little bit of skeptical Scully because she immediately was like, and you've had this tested?
Right.
I doubt it. Even if she believes that it might be true because she believed that her son had alien DNA and gives him praise and everything.
Right.
But, she doubts her because she sounds ridiculous because it's like, who on earth says I have DNA for sure? Like, it's, do you feel the DNA, like the double helix spiraling inside you? Like, it's just a weird statement to make.
It was a little weird.
Yeah. So that line really stuck out for me. But obviously there were a lot of things that stuck out in good ways too.
Yeah, I think we chatted about this earlier. Part of the negativity in reading other people's reviews before you watch something is that you get these preconceived notions of what to expect. And so I had read a few people comment on how the first meeting scene between Mulder and Scully, for instance, I had read people call it like feel like a parody or felt like it wasn't quite true to character. And so when I went into it, I already had this like idea of like people might not like this scene, and so
you were looking for those things.
I was looking for those things, and so I wasn't watching it with like a clear, like open-minded brain.
Are there any remaining questions that are kind of like left out there at the end of this episode?
Eating away at my soul.
Yeah.
I did have one question. The scene where Scully says that Sveta doesn't have alien DNA.
Yeah.
I am a little confused because she retests it. She originally says she doesn't, and then she retests it and then says she does. So I want to know, was Scully lying in the first place to kind of debunk Sveta because she didn't fully believe her?
Right. Did she run like a more comprehensive test?
Yeah. I don't feel like the character would lie. Scully's such a...
Well, but she's trying to get Mulder off of the, off of his like crazy tangent.
Right.
So...
I don't know. It just felt a little confusing.
Yeah, they didn't totally explain that. I agree. Yeah.
Something about when she first looked at that DNA made her consider testing it again. It was either, if it came back totally blank, does that mean she wants to believe? So she's like, test it again. I want to find that to be the truth. Or is it like she saw a hint of it and was like, weird, we should double check that. You know, it's just a little up in the air.
Yeah, I agree. I really was unsure about what that all meant too. And I personally want to know what was happening with Scully and Tad in that limo. I hope that we address that at some point because that was shocking to see that. I was like, what? Scully? Champagne?
And
limo?
Tad?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wait a minute. He's trying to get up on some Mulder's girl.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew he was, but I didn't think she'd play into it, but maybe she is.
And Mulder made that comment early in the episode, like she shot men with less provocation, which I think was talking about when she shot him.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Meaning like kind of back off.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I couldn't really relate
like
to that until
That's
I thought
funny.
about it again.
That's funny.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions.
Well, all those things hanging out there. Well, we want you to tell us about, was there anything that didn't get answered for you? Let us know in the comments below. Rachel, what do you want to have them tell us in the comments?
I want to know what you thought about it. Like, if you're going to keep watching, if it was enough for you, if it was too different for you, if it was everything you expected, like, is it going to sustain you through the next 5 episodes?
Yeah, and you can also tell us on our Facebook group. The link is going to be in our description. That's the way to connect with these girls here on Facebook, as well as everybody else that loves the show. It's a great place to talk about your favorite episodes, share new merchandise if you want to, or maybe just a selfie of you in your X-Files shirt.
shirt.
Yeah.
Please wear
Tag
them.
us.
So, Elice, what do you want to have them put in the comments?
I'm curious what people think about Mulder and Scully. Do you think that they are updated versions of themselves? Like time has transpired now, they're older. Is this them being a different, version of their own personality? Do you think David and Jillian were warming up to their characters? Do you think they played it exactly the same? Like, how do you feel the characters have changed or maybe stayed the same in the portrayal? Yeah, and if it was intentional or not. That's what I'm curious.
Did they change for the better? Well, I'm super excited about this next episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's
tomorrow.
super awesome.
I know,
that
so
we don't have to wait a whole entire week.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
I
is pretty cool.
Originally, we were kind of bummed about that.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be like
Yeah.
a third over so quickly, but now that
Right.
I've seen one episode, I'm so
More,
anxious.
I want
Yeah,
more.
kind of want to binge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
until the episode tomorrow, we'll see you on Trust No One But Us on Facebook and on our Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm an X-Files fan.
Hi, I'm Elice, and I'm an X-Files fan. And welcome to another episode of
Trust No One But Us. Today, we wanted to talk about our favorite Skinner moments. We have our top 10 list for you because Skinner is one of our favorite secondary characters, probably our favorite secondary character, yeah?
Yeah, and he started out